How was
So
it?
yeah, I started playing. Actually, I downloaded a bunch of games from Steam next week,
Hmm.
and most of them sucked like usual. Two games were pretty
But
good.
most game on Steam next week are indie games, so I won't lie.
Okay, they don't suck.
I would say it this way. I will not put the same level of demands on an indie game that I would give to a AAA. For example, for the simple reason that the indie game doesn't have the same money, the same team, or anything else from the indie game. So that's my take on it. Because I think I think that people are kind of, what do you say, not unfair to the indie game sphere, because you have to give criticism to everything on on a level, right? Don't have to dogpile everything either, but uh, yeah, you have to give some criticism, right? But sometimes I feel like they want something new, but they don't want something indie.
Well, my problem with the Steam games is just that a lot of them try to pay homages to other games, and they're fine. We've, like I said, well, it's okay. This video is not out yet, but we've moved a long way from the time where we were just doing like Mario
Mario.
3 homages.
Yeah,
So
I remember that
the
time, like
games are pretty,
2010.
yeah, the games are pretty good, but my issue is that um they're good, but they don't have the nuances that made those past games really great, the games that they're trying to emulate.
Mm.
That, and sometimes they're missing features. But my issue is that, those games from like 45 years, 30 to 45 years ago, have these features. I played a game called, what was it? Prison City, and it was a Contra parody. But my issue was that there was only one weapon in the demo, and I played for like 45 minutes, an hour. And the thing is that Contra, within the first 5 minutes, you have multiple weapons, and you can upgrade the weapons to have multiple alt fires, but not in this game, which is kind of annoying. Um, I really felt like that of all the games I played, most of them felt sorry, most of them felt like games that I played in the past, but they didn't have the things that really set them apart. Benedict Fox was the only one where I was like, oh, okay, there's a central thing that makes the game interesting. It's basically, imagine Resident Evil, where you have puzzles and you have to examine items to find, like a code or special things on it. But you also have fighting, so you have a light attack, a parry, and all that stuff. And you also, when you die, you have resources like Dark Souls, so you have to get your experience back. But it's also a Metroid game. The level design is Metroid, but it's also alone in the dark because it's like a H.P. Lovecraft story, and you have a gun. So when you fight monsters, you build a gauge, and then you can fire your gun, and it's built like Metroid, but you also have puzzles like Resident Evil. So it's a mix of a lot of things, and it's really special. But the other games that I played, like what was it, something something Moss, Prison City,
Hmm.
and Radio the Universe. Radio the Universe was fucking frustrating.
The way that I see it is that um the way I see it is that you talking about old game, but those are created by people who already made mistake creating game. It's like when you draw, right? I'm shit at drawing. So my hand looks like it was made by a 3D AI.
Oh god.
My eyes are okay because I practice a lot of time with the eyes, because Naruto and every you have this all the eyes, special eyes, so now I know how to draw eyes. My head looks like kind of fucking rectangular because I'm a dumbass with that. And the thing is, like, you cannot compare. You can see the inspiration from some things, but it's normal that it's not exactly the same. The way I see most indie is that is a work of love and is a test trial. Like even I had like I'm not a dumbass, so I didn't create one indie that I published. My first indie, I still have it till this day. I didn't publish it.
Wait, which one?
I have created a game that's
A bag of dicks.
no, it's a runner. It's a infinite runners because I really love the game Jetpack Jordy, and I wanted to make a game like that, but better than that and more interesting than that, and a little bit challenging with
Yeah.
different stuff that I created. Um, we were two creating it, and like we were working on the third part because it has like some part where you break the game kind of the rhythm so that you can go to the next level. But that game I never release it, not because it's not good enough, that too, but the thing's like most most people who create game start out, and I know that it's the first game and maybe it's trash, maybe you shouldn't ask for money for it, but at the same time, if they get some clues, some encouragement, something, maybe they can create another game that's better or another game that's better after, you see. So the way that I see it is like that's why I don't really compare indie game with old game or game that they are homages of. Not because they don't deserve it, just because it's like there's some level that they had that they don't. Because old game indie we don't play them now because they're too old. But the if you skip that generation to go to the next one, I think that it's clear that those games are more like the equivalent of AAA now. They had like a bigger team, like it wasn't created by one person. They had a little bit of budget, not a lot, but it's more than the budget that we have now for indies. That's the way that I see it.
Yeah, but
It's like
like I said, these games are not bad. It's just that if it was the first time I played these that type of game, I would love it. It's just that I've played better, and I'm sure that like these people will improve and make better games. But even if we're
most
just
of them
talking
won't.
about indie games, I've seen indie games like a Katana Zero, for example, that nailed the concept like first try, and they're not bad games. And also, I was kind of tired, and
No,
I still recommend
that's what
them.
I mean. You say Katana Zero nailed it from the first time, but for real, it didn't nail it because you don't know how many iterations of the game he
Yeah,
did
yeah,
first.
yeah. I know
before.
that. I know that. But that's what I mean. They made many iterations of the game, and then they had a final release made for
Like
public.
for real, I have admiration for those who create game and release them, even if it's trash. Except, and that's me, except people who do what's the name? Uh,
But those are games that I would still recommend. It's just that
yeah, Chivalry. Fuck Chivalry. Chivalry is trash.
yeah, not just Shovel War. But I